A 2-0 win for Chelsea over Burnley, and Thomas Tuchel gets his first win and his first goal. Stevie Nicol as the new man that's leading Chelsea. Probably didn't get the response he wanted midweek, but now he's gotten the win here. We know that Burnley can be tricky on their day, as your boys at Liverpool found out recently, but Chelsea seemed quite comfortable for most of it getting this win. Unlikely goal scorers. We'll get to them in just a bit. 2 games in charge for Tuchel. What can he take away from today?
Well, I think he can take away a comfortable victory. I thought they actually moved the ball well, but they're clearly missing a goal scorer. With the amount of time they spent up in the attacking third of the field, they really didn't produce real clear chances. I should say they had a load of half chances, which I think a goal scorer may have turned into goals. But as you said, the two goal scorers were players who were supposed to be either assisting or backing things up, not actually goal scorers. So there are positives, but the problem is it was against a very poor Burnley. You know, you said that Burnley can make things difficult for you. Tell you what, they didn't do that today. Mendy could have sat in the stand or sat on the bench next to Tuchel and had a cup of tea and a chat. But at the end of the day, you got to win the game, and Chelsea did that.
That's exactly what they did indeed. Doesn't have to be pretty, just get the job done. And that's what they did, thanks to two very unlikely goal scorers, as we said, Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcus Alonso. I mean, the fact that they're back in the mix, I'm sure probably got the eyebrow raised for a couple of Chelsea fans. But now that you've seen them, do you think that they should be probably more involved under Tuchel?
Well, it seems that Azpilicueta certainly is going to be involved. Marcus Alonso tends to show up, score goals, and then disappear for a spell. That's kind of been his Chelsea career. You know, he's disappeared, then all of a sudden he plays and he scores, and everything's great in the garden again, and then he disappears again. So yes, he played well today. He did score a goal, but as far as his long-term future, I don't know. You know, Tuchel has made certainly made a lot of changes for this game today. Completely different front three, and also brought Pulisic on at half time for Tammy Abraham. So he's kind of figuring out who's who and what they're capable of. As far as Alonso's concerned, we'll see whether he does his normal trick and does a disappearing act again. But certainly on today, he should start the next game.
And speaking of seeing what players are capable of, Callum Hudson-Odoi in that kind of different for him right wing back role, but he looks like he's thriving in it.
Yeah, he was impressive. The question is, you know, when you play in that wide area and you have to basically run that right hand side of the field, you have to get up and down. I was unsure whether he was capable of that. Yes, he loves to go at fullbacks and he loves to attack. I wasn't sure whether he was capable of doing the defensive side, but he did it today, no question. Got up and down the line, and so yes, I think probably in Tuchel's 2 games, Hudson-Odoi has been the most impressive overall.
And then up next for Chelsea, it's a big one up against Spurs, a nice little London derby. The games are coming thick and fast for Thomas Tuchel in this one. He's only had these 2 games, and as you said, he's still experimenting to see what his best side is. But do you think he has a better idea now who his troops could be, at least for that clash?
I would think so. Every day and every game, he will figure out who he trusts and who he can rely on and who he thinks could be special. All of those things, but there's no question this is going to be a real test. I talked about Chelsea moving the ball well today. Problem is, it's going to be a lot harder to move it against Spurs than it will be against Burnley. So this is a real test, and we'll see, if any, the difference that Tuchel's made in the short time that he's actually been at Chelsea.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.